The safety is off. There's a round in the chamber. This is Armed Alabama. Sponsored by McCoy Outdoor Company, Mobile's hometown full-line outdoor sporting products and gear store. An interactive talk show discussing self-defense, product reviews, shooting tips, safety, and more. Your calls, comments, and texts welcome at 343-0106. Now, here are your hosts, retired judge and certified NRA instructor Rusty Johnston and certified NRA law enforcement instructor Adam Strange.
They're gonna pry these guns right out of my hands when they come to take them away. I believe in the rights that my fathers gave me when he signed the Constitution that day. No misguided president or crooked politician with a greasy pocket be spared. When the hard-working man gets tired of your cry, it's gonna rain wrath, beware. Don't tread on me, I'm American free. You're not gonna take it away. I stand up to fight for my freedoms and rights. That's the price you'll have to pay. Don't tread on me, I'm American free. Red-blooded to the core. You ain't ever had a fight in your life like the fight that you're itching for.
All right, welcome to the Armed Alabama Tuesday, which is my favorite day of the week.
You'd about forgotten what show you were on, hadn't you?
Absolutely.
It's been away so long.
It's been 2 weeks since I've been behind the mic, but it feels like a month. So glad you could join us tonight here on Armed Alabama. Tuesday night, 6 p.m. We broadcast every week, Tuesday night from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And, of course, this show is about self-defense, firearm and ammo selection, home protection, concealed carry, proper training, range etiquette, of course, Alabama law, Mississippi law, and Florida law, and U.S. constitutional law. If you have a comment or question that you would like to myself or the judge to answer, you can give us a call here at the studio. It's 251-343-0106. And be sure and check us out on our Facebook page, Armed Alabama Radio, FM Talk 106.5. And be sure to like, save, and follow us on Facebook. And we are broadcasting live on Facebook as well. So we're broadcasting over the radio waves. And, of course, we're simulcasting on Facebook. So be sure and tune in to our Facebook page and watch us there so you can see our ugly mugs. But the judge has brought some stuff for show and tell. So we will be discussing that later on tonight. And tonight's show is recoil. Recoil of different firearms and not so much recoil of different firearms.
Absolutely.
So we'll be able to give you a good perspective on that. Also, be sure and check us out on Twitter, Armed Alabama 106.5, and our YouTube channel, Armed Alabama. Be sure to like and subscribe our YouTube channel. The judge does a really good job, puts some great content on our YouTube channel. Of course, our previous shows are on there as well that you can go to and listen and watch. So also, speaking of listening to our shows, you can go to our website, armedalabama.com, and you can listen to all of our previous shows from our website. You can download them there and listen to those podcasts at your leisure, whether you're at work or you're traveling or what have you. You can listen to all of our previous shows back to the beginning of last year.
March 15th, 2006.
You're getting behind the
Yeah, I
times.
know. I'm just like Senator McCain.
Yeah, 2016. So it was Beware the Ides of March.
Right.
And we were on that day, so that was pretty cool. It's hard to believe it's been that long ago.
Right.
Time goes by fast, and the judge and I, we really enjoy doing this show. We appreciate the response that we've gotten from this show. We appreciate the emails and comments on Facebook and the likes and the shares, and we thank you so much. Speaking of likes and shares, we want you to go to the link that we have on our Facebook page to the NAPI Awards and vote for your favorite show, Armed Alabama. for the favorite talk radio show and the favorite sports radio show. I didn't know we were on there twice, Judge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And what good is being the most popular radio shows on the least popular radio station? So you need to vote for FM Talk 106.5 while you're at it, but save that for last. Vote for us first, and then follow up. It's about 2 up from the talk shows.
Yeah, so give us a call, 251-343-0106. We'll be glad to take your comments or questions. You can also reach myself or the judge. You can email me, adam@armedalabama.com, or you can email the judge at thejudge@armedalabama.com.
And good, I've got a Windows update going on here. So
don't you love when that happens?
I do.
Right, that means you can't use your computer probably for the whole show.
I know. So no tough questions.
It didn't give you an option there where you could not do the update?
Well, it was shaking. My pointer is like, do it or it's going to self-destruct.
Well, we like to call out our advertisers. If it wasn't for them, we would not be on the air, and that's David Parnell at Palmer's Toyota, Dr. Justin Foster at Foster's Chiropractic of Tillman's Corner, David Grayson of Grayson Air Conditioning, McCoy Outdoors, of course, Ace Hardware Stores of Spring Hill, Moffett, and Creola locations, and the law office of Matt Green. And do we have another?
We have Mike Ward's Liberty Safes.
Awesome.
Yeah, and they've got a Father's Day special. You hear it on the ad, and so does the Ace Hardware Stores. They have some great Father's Day specials that are running right now. You need to get up there and see them, and I guess that means Sunday is Father's Day.
Yep.
I haven't been asked what type of firearm accessory that I want. I guess they figure that I've got everything possible. So,
and I know if you're not watching on the Facebook Live or on the video, the judge always brings in lots of things here for show and tell. So he'll be pulling out some of those later on in the show. But, he just about got every accessory known to man within the firearms industry.
And, Adam, you had a pretty extensive list and a ever-growing list of sponsors, but individuals can also support this show.
Absolutely.
If you believe in what Adam and Judge Johnston are doing, or you support Second Amendment or any of the firearm-related issues, how can they support this show and help keep it on the air?
That's a good point. Thank you, Charlie. You can go to our Facebook page, Armed Alabama Radio, FM Talk 106.5, and we have a link there to Patreon.com.
Or it may be, I've got a special feature coming up. It's going to be the Darwin Awards section, and we're going to be looking for sponsors for that for just $30 a show. And so if you know what the Darwin Awards is, of course, the dumbest criminals of that time period, and we're going to have about 5 minutes we spend on that, and we'd like a sponsor for that, and it'll just cost $30 a show. And so I know one of you, just an individual, would like to sponsor that, and so it's probably better to email the judge at armedalabama.com or Adam at armedalabama.com, and we'll take care of you. Or if there are two people that want to do it, you split it up. We don't want to get too complicated.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think this is going to be a fun segment, and I'm looking forward to that.
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be comical
sometimes.
It may be tough choosing. So definitely, if you're like our show and you love listening to Armed Alabama, we appreciate any contributions you want to make through Patreon.com. You can go to our website. Should be updated today or tomorrow, where you can go to our website, armedalabama.com, and click on the Patreon link and sign up. And you can do it for as little as $1, $5, or $500. It's whatever that you.
Well, let's mention that chat while we're at it. We started, as a lot of you know, a private. I kind of hate that word. Anyway, it's a private chat or Hangouts, Google Hangouts, and every other Thursday from 7 to 8, and we're going to get Adam involved in here pretty soon, but he's been pretty busy lately, from 7 to 8, 1 hour where I'm on the your screen, and you can type in questions for me, or it's basically like a private talk show. And for anybody that gives $5 a month or more to that, you're invited. But right now we're kind of inviting, number one, we're inviting everybody that has subscribed to the YouTube channel. So that's a reason to subscribe. And so get that done, and it's probably a maximum of around 200 we can handle, but that's a fun thing to be doing. It looks like we got to step into a break, and we'll be back with more with Armed Alabama.
All right, welcome back to Armed Alabama. Be sure to give us a call, or you can text to reach us at 251-343-0106. And be sure and check out our Facebook page, Armed Alabama Radio, FM Talk 106.5. And you can like and save and follow us there, and you can watch us on the Facebook Live as we simulcast with the radio show. And also be sure and join us a little bit later. Judge has brought in some things for show and tell and discuss about tonight's topic, recoil.
Yeah, we can talk. We want to talk about it before then, because we got information up on our website about recoil of various rifles and shotguns. And Adam, it's amazing the difference in recoil between, let's say a AR-15 and a 12-gauge shotgun. Is something like 6 times the recoil that a 12-gauge shotgun is going to produce. But, most people are going to, be kind of convinced because their fathers and grandfathers get that 12-gauge shotgun, and we've talked about it numerous times, that they can be great if you're trained and ready, etc.
Yeah.
But in the hands of somebody that isn't used to shooting them, they can be a disaster.
Exactly. If you,
I was going to tell you,
that person is inexperienced, it definitely will be in trouble.
Watch our video on the Facebook page. It has people being knocked on their fanny by various types of guns. And then it has a special message from Joe Biden in there, too, that everybody will appreciate.
Yeah, he's a big fan of 12 gauge, right?
Yeah, it has him in there saying, you don't need buy a 12 gauge. When he finishes, then the woman shoots it, and bam, it knocks her right down.
Especially talking about going outside and shooting it up in the air. How ridiculous.
And think about it. I would guess the cheapest double-barrel shotgun is probably a Ruger, or I think Ruger may be one of the Turkish guns. But, it's probably about $1,600. What's the cheapest AR-15 now? $699 maybe, or $599? I mean, more than twice as much.
They've really dropped in price.
Oh, yeah.
So if you've been putting off a purchase for an AR, now is definitely time to go and get one.
Absolutely.
Hey, fellas, when somebody shoots a gun into the air, do they think the bullets just disappear?
Well,
disappear
I'll tell
into
you,
the universe.
I got into one of those crazy things where I studied something to death. A few years ago, it was and it wasn't in the Mobile paper, but somewhere else. Hey, you're going to kill somebody. I found studies where that I think the piece of metal has to be, of course, its size has something to do with it, but it has to be traveling at 400 feet per second in order to pierce the skin, and something like 600 to pierce the skull. And anyway, somebody had worked out all the calculations. There's no way it can kill you.
Yeah, when it comes back down.
When it comes back down. That's right.
When it comes
the
back
friction of the air is going to slow it some.
Yeah, well, this is now I couldn't put my hands on it in a million years, but no, it was the Los Angeles newspaper is what it was, and their own ER confirmed what I said.
Well, if we were in a vacuum, of course we're not. What goes up comes down at the same speed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the only thing that's going to slow it is air friction.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which may not be that much on a shotgun pellet, I would think.
Well, you'd be surprised because, a double-aught buckshot is a .32-33 caliber bullet.
Yeah.
So it'll slow it down fairly good. So
you're in the Fred Richardson camp
on
New Year's Eve to
No,
celebrate?
I think I don't like the noise anyway. So, in fact, I handled a case a number of years ago where they were after a police officer. I guess he's not a public figure anymore. It's been so long. who merely said on his off time, "It sounded like Beirut last night." And he was laid off for, it's either 3 or 5 days.
Wow.
And I held it was protected speech. Unfortunately, his lawyer didn't raise that for the personnel board, but that didn't matter. I think that was ridiculous. So I sided with him, wrote a great order, reversed by the Supreme Court. They sent it back. I wrote a different order, was reversed by the Supreme Court, and then they just wrote the order because I guess they knew what I was going to do, because I think it was just basic. I think you could have raised it at any time, but they didn't agree. But as Judge Hooper, Chief Justice Hooper said, just because they're the highest court doesn't mean they're right. And I agreed with him.
Judge, I got some local news here. Just want to talk about real quick. There's been kind of busy, unfortunately, here in the Mobile listening area. There's some searches going on for Orlandis Cornelius Hale. He is wanted in connection with a murder. So if you are aware of his whereabouts, you definitely want to contact the Mobile Police Office.
A murder in Mobile? Wow. I hadn't even heard about that.
And there was also a body that was discovered this past weekend, Friday evening. 63-year-old James Hip was found at the 4000 block of Airport Boulevard, 6:53 on Friday evening. His body was severely decomposed, and death was suspicious. So now I think the death was actually may have been a homicide, but depending on autopsy. So not really sure yet, but to think maybe some foul play may have gone into that.
You know, when I was a lawyer, I discovered a dead body, and I tell you, the world can be divided into two groups of people, those who have never discovered a dead body and those who have discovered a dead body. And it kind of changes your outlook on things when you discover a dead. I thought it was just a drunk passed out over there in the parking lot of Channel 10 downtown.
Yeah, it could be a life-changing event.
Yeah, but he was just dead. So, I mean, it was just kind of it wasn't an everyday thing, but it happened. You couldn't get really upset about it. It just happened.
Well, according to WKRG Whistler, Alabama, there was a man that almost was dead. He was shot in the head in Pritchard, but the incident is still under investigation.
Was there much recoil from that incident?
I don't know. You have to ask the shooter, I think, on that. And then something that's kind of went viral on Facebook is no gun seen at the mall. Have you heard about this, Judge?
No.
Where some shoppers were at at Bel Air Mall, and then there was an incident broke loose where some individuals had got angry and were shouting back and forth, and a bystander had possibly seen a firearm in one of them's hand, and of course informed security as well. And upon investigation, there was really no firearm was really seen, or those individuals had thought to have a firearm. Of course, they were expelled from the property and told never to return.
For fighting, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Since we know the mall isn't legally able to put up no firearm signs.
But they do.
Oh, they do, yeah.
All right, what you got for us? You got anything else for us, Judge?
I do, as I work on that. If anybody's interested in the War of the Rebellion, the Civil War, the war between the states, the War of Northern Aggression, etc., the first meeting of the Mobile Area Civil War Roundtable, and those are held in lots of cities around the country. They discuss really the history of that war. Is going to be held next Monday, and that is June 19th, at 5:30 p.m. at the University of South Alabama Cafeteria Conference Room on the campus of the University of South Alabama. And it's kind of in the dormitory area around I think it's actually part of the Student Center. And it'll be an all-you-can-eat buffet for $7.45 plus tax, and which can't beat that anywhere. And from 5:30 to 6:15, there'll be dinner and fellowship. And the program starts at 6:15, and the speaker will be speaking on secession, history and legality of secession from 1794 to today. And the speaker is none other than yours truly, who is spending way too much time getting that ready.
Hey, Judge, on a related note, I saw on Drudge Report that the city of New Orleans spent over $2 million to take down those Confederate statues.
Good grief. And, they said originally that they weren't going to spend any public money doing that. But, whoever tells the truth in New Orleans. So, but the first weekend they were all gone. 15 people were shot in one weekend, and I thought that was supposed to calm tensions, to get those symbols of hate out of there. Everybody was going to chill out. Mm-hmm. Because I contended they might have been assaulting people at night, grabbing people and all when people were asleep. All right, we better step into. Do we need to smoke marijuana and go into a break?
Sure.
Okay, light up, and we're going to a break, and we'll be right back with more of Armed Alabama.
Light them if you got them.
All right, welcome back to Armed Alabama. We have a text that's come in, actually Facebook question that's come in that says, I understand I don't need a pistol permit in Alabama anymore due to a change in the law. Wrong. You need to keep following the news. That was a bill that did not pass the legislature. It passed the Senate, but did not pass the House. And we were going to be a little mean here and say, yeah, you're right, and see what happened. But no, it did not pass. And if you carry openly, sure. But that did not pass and was not signed into law.
No fake news here.
That's right. We tell the truth, unlike some people we've been seeing over the past few months, which has really been unbelievable. And if y'all want a laugh, I think it's public, you can go to my personal webpage, Joseph Johnston, on Facebook, and see I'm selling for a limited time Vladimir Putin original oil paintings, way off the sticker price. You can go to Amazon. They charge $109,000 for them. But due to my collusion with various Russians, I can sell them to you for $79,000, free shipping, and free framing.
How many rubles is that?
Oh, I don't know. Vladimir only wants cash. Uh-huh. He don't want any rubles. So,
well, that sounds like a good deal to me.
Oh, and I have the picture, the painting there. It's 4 or 5 feet tall, and I said a big painting for a big man.
Is that the picture of Vladimir without a shirt and the body of a horse?
No, he's got his jeans on. He's got an alligator around him and a tiger and all. Those represent animals of the world, countries that he's friendly to. And there's China. He has rats, I think it is. So check him out.
Does it come with a certificate of authenticity?
We will get
that's
one.
What I want to know.
We will get one.
Price.
Yeah. $3 more. Huh?
Yeah, that might cost you a little more.
What was the total cost?
$79,000.
$79,000.
$109 on Amazon, and no free shipping.
Well, maybe you can throw in the certificate.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll
make you a deal.
Cost. Because folks is looking for a deal.
Well, Father's Day's here.
Yeah.
We'll get it. I'll fly it to you for Father's Day.
Hey, Adam, are you going to share that text about the bullet hole in the trunk
of
the car?
Somebody had texted in to the radio station here and says they had a bullet hole in the hood of their car from a New Year's Eve night. So I don't think the bullet went straight up and then come straight back down and had enough velocity and force to pierce the hood. So maybe
if it's a hole, I think it take 900 feet per second.
Well, it could have
pierced metal.
I mean, it could have been a big arc, and if it was a low arc then definitely it would have had the velocity to be able to do that, but not to go straight up and then straight back down.
I want to get some of those bullet hole decals that you can put on the side of your car.
Oh, I do, yeah.
I had a cousin pulled over because the cops thought they were for real.
Well, they look real. Yeah, they look like it blew the paint off.
Some of them do, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you can get them for the windshield, you can get them for the side of the vehicle itself. Yeah, I may have to get a couple.
But if you live in a tough neighborhood, that might enhance your
street cred.
Yeah, that's it.
You know,
without really
cred.
being shot.
Yeah.
You're gonna get the
Well, let's
answer.
all don't be silent at once.
Well, we got a lot of texts that came in here, so we love reading texts on the air
and
here.
while you're looking, you can text to us at the same number you call in.
Yeah.
251-343-0106. So if you don't want to be on the air, shoot us your question by text.
Speaking of being on the air, we actually got a caller.
These mathematical formulas here. Can you imagine?
So we have LDs on the line calling from Mobile.
The Mad Trucker.
Yes, sir. Talking about the bullet holes, I do a lot of maintenance work, and I've probably, the last 15 years, 20 years, I've probably repaired about 15 bullet holes in these metal buildings out south part of town and all over. And about half the time, you can go down and find a bullet where it went through the ceiling, through the roof, through the insulation.
Well, it says it takes 1,000 feet per second for a bullet to pierce a piece of metal. And most of the time, if you shoot, let's say a 223 is going at 1,800 to 2,300 feet per second, when it goes up, and it's not coming anywhere like that coming down. Now, it could be, of course, you may have a metal building that is so dilapidated. I mean, a lot of that depends on the condition of the metal.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's just
I don't know.
factor.
I don't think he was necessarily talking about the roof. He was talking about the side. Is that correct? So
No,
somebody
I'm
was shooting
talking
into
about the roofs. Yes, sir. I probably repaired 15 to 18 bullet holes in the roofs. And I found bullets. We went down and found where they come down and in the building on the concrete of about 7 or 8 of them. But they do go through the roofs of these metal buildings. Some of them are old, but the roofs are in good shape. To walk up on them and fix them and repair them. Now, I don't know how that is, but I have, there's 7 of them we have went down and found the bullets sitting there, what was left of them, after they were smashed, sitting there on in the concrete, in the bays or whatever.
Okay, well, we will not go where those bullets are going through the roof.
No doubt.
They will.
We'll stay away from there, I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you for that update.
Yeah, appreciate you calling in. All right,
For
just
instance,
trying.
a 45 auto needs to be traveling at 1,000 feet per second in order to pierce even the thinnest metal. So, a lot of it has to do with the metal.
The metallurgy itself, how thick it is.
And the bullet
so
metal, But
they got no problem going through stop signs.
Well,
you see that all over the place.
And
or used to, not so much anymore. But
and by the way, I'm trying to find a stop sign in the state of Alabama that has not been shot. Actually, the South that has not been shot. I was on to one.
It's not as bad as what it used to be.
Yeah, I was on one near Noonan, Georgia. By the time I got there, I got my text. It was already shot, and that was a 3-hour period. It was a new stop sign. So I'm looking for that. If you see one that hadn't been shot, let me know. Now, I wouldn't. In fact, I'm looking for somebody in the South that has never shot a stop sign. I think that means you're a transplant if you hadn't shot a stop sign. I was on that announcement, the Civil War Roundtable once again. That is June 19th. That is next Monday, University of South Alabama at 5:30. The next night, there is a meeting also at 5:30 of the Federalist Society for Law and Public Policy Studies, and that is at Matt Green's office. And I wish I could remember the address, but he's right across from the old Barton Academy. Remember that the school board is letting collapse, even though it's the first public school in the state of Alabama and a historic building. And the speaker that night is a Dr. Root, R-O-O-T. He invented a new device that the FDA didn't really quite approve of. Next thing he knew, a SWAT team had raided his business, and he went through about 6 years of pure hell and a couple of $1 million, and it was just unbelievable. He's got a book actually about it whose name I can't recall right now, but it is just the typical over-militarization. That address is 501 Government Street, Mobile 36602, the Pollock Altmeyer home. Easiest thing to do is to, because they're closed at that time, park in the Chamber of Commerce parking lot, and Matt's office faces Government Street and about looks out on the old Barton Academy, which once again it is a disgrace. And why is my picture there? Building. I cannot be going because I will be here during the show.
That's disappointing because you and I, we always like to go to the
somebody is impersonating. Oh, Sydney. Okay, my son. He can't be going. He's going to be filming us that night. So, but anyway, you don't have to be a lawyer to go to that. That's a misconception. I'd rather allot people that aren't lawyers. It makes it a lot more interesting, and it's usually a mixed crowd there. So think about going if you just want to hear how the government abuses these regulations and turns regulations into laws, and how all these agencies have SWAT teams. That's something to go to. You want to try to get Mike in before we got to get to this next break?
Yeah, Mike's calling in from Mobile. Hey, Mike.
Judge.
Yes.
Have you seen Barton Academy lately?
I have not. Please tell me something's happened to it.
They put so much money into redoing that. You say so many things sometimes it's just totally untrue.
Well, when did they start that? Because they haven't
done that for years. That thing is immaculate.
Well,
you need to go downtown sometimes. One time you made a statement.
I think you're tricking me because I looked at it 2 years ago and it didn't look immaculate to me.
Well, you need. Have you seen it though? You have not.
Yes, I have seen it.
It degrades the city, and you need to quit.
I have seen it, and it did not look immaculate.
Go look at it. The place.
When did they start rehabbing it?
It's been years they've been doing it. I've been down there for almost 3 years, and they've been redoing it for 3 years.
Well, I will see it, but I doubt what you're saying is correct.
Reviving it and quit downing it. This downtown has come a long ways from where it has been in 15, 20 years ago.
It's come a long way if you like to go to bars.
No, it's not. Have you been to the restaurants?
Yeah, I have.
Check out the restaurants down there. There's some very, very nice restaurants.
What is your question? What is your question?
It's downtown is a different place.
That's the statement. What is your question?
That's my statement.
Okay. What's your question?
Times. Don't downtown so much. Give it a chance.
All right, I will. Thank you. If you want to go downtown, that's fine. You just need to carry and be careful.
I like going downtown. I'm down there all the lot.
Yeah.
I really am.
You are.
And not just going to the bars.
Yeah. You're not a lounge lizard.
No, I'm not.
I don't think you hit the bars.
I like, one of my favorite places is, actually there's several places I like. I like Spotted Tea down there and Dolphins. I like going to Dolphins.
What a beautiful scenery from Dolphins.
Oh, my God. I love it. We can't say any more about it because they had not given us any money.
That's right. But Dolphins spots are available.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right, we'll be back with more Armed Alabama after this break. All right, welcome back to Armed Alabama. We've got a few texts that we haven't got you yet. Judge, here's one, I guess is a question or a comment maybe for you. But it's from Terry, who went to his local gun store to buy a Tommy gun. And, of course, he has not been able to.
And he's talking about the Tommy gun made by Auto Ordnance.
Right, it's semi-automatic.
Yeah.
And so he was not able to take said Tommy gun home because the background check was delayed. And so it was never responded on.
And how long has it been?
So it was 4.5 hours today. and they told him to come back tomorrow.
And
so he's asking, is there a specific time limit that the ATF has to be able to do that background check?
Yeah, there's a time limit to deny it, or they can't just hold you in. And I'm assuming the weather or whatever.
And it could have been because we've had some bad weather today.
Yeah,
because that is all electronic.
Yeah.
Somewhat. I think they call in too. They can call in as well. So
yeah, I'm just trying to think right offhand. I'm trying to get it on, retrieve it from my computer, which is acting crazy. But why don't I retrieve that in just a second?
Well, Judge Terry wanted to also know, and this is a question I wanted to know, is that if you have a pistol permit and you go to a gun store and you buy a pistol, do they have to run a background check since you have a permit?
It is up to the vendor whether or not they want to.
If you have a permit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
up. If you have a valid permit and you're in Alabama, they can opt to go with your permit instead of run, but they don't have to.
Yep, they don't have to.
Yeah,
right.
It's up to the business to decide whether or not they want to do that. And some that I have talked to said that if they know the individual, then they will take the permit without a background check.
But if they come in and you just don't hit them the right way,
yep.
Because it's their on the line.
Exactly, they're responsible, for selling that. Pistol, a shotgun, a rifle, or what have you. So it's their prerogative whether or not they want to choose to utilize the permit or go ahead and make it official and do a background check. All right, we've got a few callers on the line here, so we go to Johnny's calling from Mobile. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Hey,
all right, glad you can join us. What you got?
Hey, I just want to invite y'all to come out to getting to be that political season again. And
I don't know that we ever gotten out of it, considering how long the election's gone on.
It seems like one season right after another.
Yeah, next year we got the sheriff's race. Got a newcomer, Charlie Wyckoff, June 24th, 5 o'clock at the Bay Bear Stadium, having his coming out party.
You better not say that. That means something.
That might be something different.
Now that's the 2018 election, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah.
So, y'all, Judge, come on out. You and Adam.
All right, Johnny, repeat that. Repeat that one more time.
Because, I mean,
repeat that one more time, Johnny.
A new elected sheriff.
All right, when and where? When and where again?
It's at the Bay Bear Stadium, about 5 o'clock on June 24th, 5 p.m. I believe that's on a Saturday. And come out and meet him. A different character. He's a different character than what we got as sheriff right now. And he don't drink like the sheriff does now.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if he's going to win in Mobile by not drinking.
Well, that's true, too.
Mobile's.
But we appreciate it.
That's that Saturday at 5:30 then. Thank you for letting everybody know that.
Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate it. All right, next caller is Al's calling from Mobile.
Hello?
Yes, sir. What you got?
Hey, how you doing today?
Great.
All right.
I got one question. Since police SWAT are so much tougher than U.S. Special Forces, couldn't we use them over in the Middle East to disarm the Taliban and ISIS?
Well, I guess we could do. There's a lot we could do. It's just a question of, do we have the will to do it?
Well, I mean, police SWAT are a lot better than, let's say, the Navy SEALs or the Green Berets or Army Rangers or Delta Forces. So couldn't we take a certain percentage of police SWAT, not a lot, but let's say 10% of each police force, and send them over to the Middle East to do that?
Well, all kidding aside, I think we'd have to undergo maybe a little physical training before they got out in that desert. I don't know that a lot of them are ready for that. But it's a point, But as I understand it, most of the SWAT teams, unless you get in New York or Los Angeles, they don't do that all the time. They're doing regular police duties, and they assemble for that.
Yep.
And so, they're not just sitting around like the firemen ready to run out, like the old TV show SWAT. They're out. One of them may be working traffic, and one of them may be working robbery, and then they assemble and go to the SWAT team.
Hello?
Yeah.
Well, the point I'm making, the police departments, I really believe this. If we could get them involved overseas, there's going to be a lot less civilian casualties over there. The military, I used to be in the military, and they used to make a point that military, you're going to be there, you're going to break things, you're going to kill people. But the police are a lot more restrained, you know, and they could go over there and, I believe, once the battle is done, once the fighting is done, they could do a much better job as far as keeping control of the communities.
Yeah,
I mean, if that makes sense.
There you go. You know, the only problem is taking that many people from the local communities when most of them are they hire just enough people. And if you take 10%, then what are they going to do? But it's a thought.
All right, thank you for the call, Al. All right, next caller is Neil from Mobile. Hey, Neil.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
Hey, Neil.
Hey, I got stopped by a state trooper at Theodore and Hamilton Boulevard, and I carry a lot of cash on me because of the business that I'm in, and I carry a pistol.
Yeah.
Well, this state trooper, he was in another lane helping a lady, and they were first in line. They set through a green light, and then my light turned green, so I eased out. And next thing I know, here he comes pushing that car through the red light. And he was hanging out the window and giving me some bad language. And so I let him have it back. I said, "Oh, we fixed to get a ticket."
Yeah, that was your mistake.
Pulled me over and asked for my license and registration, and I reached to get it, and he asked me if I had any weapons in the car. I said, "Yes, I've got a .45 Derringer in my pocket." Well, next thing I know, he dropped down like he was fixing to pull his pistol and shoot me. Told me to get out of the car, placed my hands on the roof of the car, and then he wanted to know where the pistol was. Well, he fished the pistol out of my pocket, and he unloaded it. And he said, "Well, when I stop somebody, I want to be the only one to have a pistol." And in my wallet, I keep my driver's license on one side and my pistol permit on the other side. So when I show my license, they can see that I got a pistol permit. Well, he ran my license and all that, and he gave me my pistol back, and it was unloaded. And I loaded it back in front of him, and he didn't like that at all. I said, "Look, if you got a problem with the law, you need to contact the people in Montgomery and get it changed."
Right.
So, what's your problem with me? And he said, "I didn't like you talking back to me." Well, is something wrong there? Am I missing something?
No, you got someone kind of unusual. That is not the sheriff's deputy's position.
No, this was the state trooper.
Yeah, right. And it's not the law. Now, but, you know, I tell people, if you've got a pistol on your person or in plain sight and you get stopped, you don't have to, but I would volunteer that I had one on me because you might get shot. You might get somebody who overreacts and sees it and shoots you. And you don't want to take that chance. But there's no need to be discourteous, and especially when you got a permit. You know, I'm trying to think of the number of people with a permit that have ever shot a law enforcement officer, and I suspect it's little to none. They're not the people that shoot law enforcement officers.
Regardless if it's police, sheriff, or whoever, I'm always polite, easy to get along with.
Says we got to run to a break. You listen off the air, and we'll talk about it when we come back.
All right, thank you, Neil. Appreciate it. All right, we'll be back after the break with the second hour of Armed Alabama. Welcome to the second hour of Armed Alabama. Glad you could join us. You listen to the show where we talk about self-defense, firearm ammo selection, home protection, concealed carry, training, proper range etiquette, and much, much more.
Adam, I might mention that August 31st of last year, there was a report on Channel 5 that they were had were working on the outside of Barton Academy, but they still needed an additional $12 million to renovate the inside of Barton Academy. And they were trying to fundraise for that. So looks can be deceiving. And by the way, I was a part of a group that rehabbed a building downtown and put a lot of my personal money into it. So I think I've earned the right to be critical when I put my personal funds into something.
If you got a comment or question, you can give us a call or text the studio at 251-343-0106. Also, we are broadcasting live on Facebook. You can go to our Facebook page, Armed Alabama Radio, FM Talk 106.5, and we are simulcasting on our Facebook page. So definitely go there and join us and join the conversation. Make sure you like, save, and follow our Facebook page. And the judge has brought in some goodies tonight for show and tell, and talk about our show theme tonight is recoil. So it's good recoil, or it's just good firearms that have low recoil, and of course there's some other firearms that have high recoil. So you need to be mindful of your needs, what kind of strength you have, of course, and your body size or whatever. If you're a small female, then the 12-gauge shotgun may not be the firearm for you. And we have a video on our Facebook page that shows former Vice President Joe Biden talking about the use of a shotgun, and then some hilarious videos of different individuals shooting a shotgun and big pistols that are getting knocked on their fanny.
Well, Adam, won't just simply racking the shotgun scare off intruders?
That's what I thought. Actually, what you say is, I'm over here in the dark with an unloaded shotgun.
There you go.
He'll know you got a loaded shotgun when you send 9 .33 caliber pieces of lead flying at him at 1,300 feet per second.
And
he'll know it's loaded.
And you're also assuming that somebody's thinking rational as you are, and that is not the case.
That they're not on meth or something.
Yeah, and they wouldn't even hear the shotgun or wouldn't even associate it to danger. And it's silly to say, okay, I'm racking my shotgun, that's going to be a deterrent to somebody.
Yeah, you could just make a recording of it and play it back through your speaker system.
Well, I've actually got some sound effects of various type guns. So
and dogs barking.
Yeah, dogs. I've got a Mossberg 500 on here, all kind of stuff.
Also, be sure and check out our YouTube channel, Armed Alabama, where you can go and watch all of our previous shows and lots of videos that we have on there. Some of them was funny, some of them was really neat. Also, you can go to our Facebook page. We have lots of videos as well on our Facebook page. NRA convention that we went to earlier this year. We've got lots of videos on there in that regard. We had a good time there at the NRA National Convention that was held in Atlanta, Georgia. So lots of content there to check out. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel where you'll be notified of all of our updates. Each time a video is loaded onto our channel, you will get a notification. And also you can check out our website, armedalabama.com. You can go there and listen to our previous shows as well, going all the way back to our original show, March 15th, 2016. And you can go there and listen to them back to back, if you will, if you're traveling or if you're at work or what have you. That's a good way to if you just now learned about our show, which a lot of people have, you can go to our website and you can catch all of our shows all the way back to the beginning, which have been gotten several emails and comments on Facebook that several people have done that. So thank you for listening. Thank you for checking out all of our previous shows. And I hope the content has improved over the year, but maybe not. Also, you can listen to the simulcast from our website. So we are simulcasting 106.5 feed all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, from our Armed Alabama website. You can also listen to the show via the TuneIn app on your smartphone. So if you're out of the listening area and you have your phone, you can listen via TuneIn app. Every Tuesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., you will catch Armed Alabama right here on this station. So, Judge, we had a self-defense class that we did May 13th, which it doesn't seem that long ago now, but time is flying by. It's been a month ago today, as a matter of fact. So we'll definitely have to have another firearm defensive class pretty soon. So we'll have
like
to make
July 15th ought to be good and hot.
Nice and hot, and get everybody out there in the beaten down sun. Huh?
Yeah, let's look for the hottest time of the year.
But seriously, well, we do definitely want to host one more class before it gets too hot to be outside. So if you're interested in that class, you can email me, Adam@armedalabama.com, or the judge at armedalabama.com, and we'll be glad to provide you with more information and put you on our list. Again, if you have any comments or questions that you want heard on the radio show tonight, give us a call, 251-343-0106, and you can call and text to that same number. Also, if you're listening or watching on our Facebook page, you can go there, and there is a continual conversation on our Facebook page during our shows and sometimes even after our shows. We've gotten some really good conversations, Judge, with different individuals. Especially we got some trolls than when we had Senator Luther Strange on a few weeks ago, and they are still
about everything.
Yeah, and they are still on there. So hey, but that's good. You know, it makes it fun to kind of have point counterpoint. So definitely check out our Facebook page, Armed Alabama FM Talk 106.5. And you can find us on Twitter as well, Armed Alabama 106.5. However, I don't get a chance to really post
who's the one
much.
putting stuff on Twitter?
Yeah, it's you.
It's me. Yeah, that's right.
You and the president.
Yes, I'm usually, I know. I'm usually backing him up and sniping it. What a great word to use. Sniping at people.
And, of course, we enjoy doing this show every Tuesday. It's just been a blast, my judge and myself, coming here and being able to talk with you, talk about the issues, talk about the Second Amendment. And if it wasn't for our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to have these shows. So we want to call those out, and that's David Parnell at Palmer's Toyota, Dr. Justin Foster at Foster's Chiropractic, Tillman's Corner, David Grayson of Grayson Air Conditioner, McCoy Outdoors, of course, Ace Hardware Stores, Spring Hill, Moffett, and Creola locations, and we have a new advertisers, and that's Mike Ward's Liberty Safe, and we are welcoming them to our show. We're glad to have them coming aboard, and we'll have to definitely have them come and join us to talk about the different prospects of buying a safe. Of course, Father's Day is this weekend, so
and they got some great buys, and
yes.
They've got an ad running, and Ace Hardware has got some great buys, and got into a discussion with somebody on our page today about, one thing that they sell at Ace Hardware. We'll tell you after the break.
All right, welcome back to Armed Alabama. We still got plenty of show left, and tonight's theme is recoil. And Judge,
Let me tell you what we're talking about. All right, AK-47, which is a fairly popular gun, and I've got one here just to show the example. I will in a minute. In one that weighs 7 pounds, for instance, and you're shooting a 125 grain bullet, and it will produce a recoil energy of 6.9 foot pounds. Yeah. Okay, let's look at a 12 gauge shotgun. And let's not look at the 3-inch shell. Let's look at the 2 3/4. And at 2 3/4, at 2 3/4 with a 1.5-inch charge, it will produce 45 foot-pounds. So that is 7 times the recoil energy. Then let's look at 1 1/4 ounce. It puts out 32 foot-pounds. Let's look at a 20 gauge. 20 gauge at a 1 1/8 ounce. And that's a 2 3/4, of course, inch shell. 25 foot-pounds of energy. So, a lot of people go with the 20 gauge. Thinking
not a lot of recoil.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And I got my wife in one and about knocked her down. So that's why I'm kind of a big fan of carbines, because you just don't get that kind of energy with a carbine. So this is up on the website, not the Facebook page, the website. And you really have to get a calculator out and measure your gun and blah, blah, blah. This is just general. But
yeah, it can be different between what type of loads and so forth.
And absolutely. And that's why, back up a little bit, for instance.
So you can go to our website, armedalabama.com, and you can see this chart that the judge is talking about.
On Facebook.
Here we
and
go.
Also you can look on Facebook right now if you have the ability to look on your smartphone.
This one a little bit.
Or tablet or to your device. The judge has brought in a few things for show and tell. What you got there, Judge?
This appears to be a plain AR-15, but it's a 9mm AR-15, which has less recoil anyway. But what I do with most of my guns, just because I don't want hard plastic, hitting my shoulder, is I put a Limb Saver recoil pad on it. Now, the claim is it reduces the recoil energy. I think the claim is a third or maybe 40%. I'd say 20 to 25%. But think about it. It has the same recoil as your 12-gauge your 9mm semi-automatic. But you've got a 5.5, 6-pound rifle or carbine you're holding here. And so you've got all of it to soak up that recoil, and you just don't have any once you've done this.
If you were looking at buying the 9mm version, is it more expensive or less than the standard?
Well, let's say brand. It's generally more expensive than just kind of the average ARs. Because they don't make as many.
What is the standard shoot? A 323?
223.
223.
But, you can still hit targets very easily at 100 yards to 125 yards. No problem, because it's got a 16-inch barrel, whereas your pistol has, a 2 to 4.5-inch barrel. So you've got, and by the way, we only have couple of indoor ranges around here, but most indoor ranges will let you shoot this in an indoor range where they won't let you shoot any type of rifle in an indoor range. This is something good for someone that hadn't done a lot of shooting, that might be frightened of recoil, of sound. The sound level is tremendously less with a 9mm. And, of course, the energy, not that energy, there's no knockdown power. If it is, we'd be knocked down when we fired the gun. But the speed of the bullet coming out of the barrel is markedly faster because of the longer barrel than coming out of a pistol. It's probably 15% faster coming out because of the longer barrel.
And that weapon that you're showing on Facebook right now, it looks to me like that would be pretty maneuverable in close quarters, indoors.
It is. It's real light. It's got, Adam and I were just commenting, it's got a real, the handguard on it isn't real fat. It's just.
And what's the total length, about 3.5 feet?
It is probably about.
A little over a yard.
Probably
maybe?
about 40 inches? No, probably about 38, 40 inches.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, now, if you had a 16-inch, it'd be even better, but you get into the tax stamps and all of that. Now, it can expand if if you're taller, of course. Electronic sight, but they are co-witnessed if the battery goes out or whatever. So what I can do is
the site still works.
Yeah, look through let's just say the electronics is fry. I can use the iron sights and look through the glass. And the only thing, if the glass shatters, you got a problem, obviously.
Right.
But now 223s do not recoil very much anyway. If somebody has a recoil problem with that, there's probably a problem with the gun. There's some things you can do to that. But I met somebody one time that they kept complaining, and there was a problem with a buffer weight in there in the spring. And we fiddled, like I should be fiddling around with it, but we fiddled around with it, and I just replaced it, and the recoil came down a third probably. It just was the wrong size weight and the wrong spring, and I think it was, a lot of people, it's fashionable to build it themselves. A lot of people I know that can't even build a tree house will build an AR-15, and, whatever. I wouldn't do it. Mainly because it costs so much more to do that.
Right now it does.
Oh, yeah.
You can buy one cheaper than you can build it.
Yeah.
Right now, for
it's
sure.
like the Johnny Cash song, the one part at a time or whatever. Now, a gun with a tremendous amount of recoil is this one. Is a Benelli M2 that's inertia driven. Is incredibly reliable. Most semi-autos are gas operated shotguns, and I don't think I can describe how a gas operated works. But with inertia, it doesn't get near as dirty, but you do have, in spite of their advertising, you do have a lot more recoil, and because of that, I make sure, I've got a good recoil pad on it. And there's some ways you can handle recoil with shotguns, but you got to test it. And one way is they have low recoil shotgun shells. Chase that thing right by you, that ammo can. As I said, you've got to make sure that these work. Of course, they'll always work in a pump. And pump is where you really need it, because pump doesn't have the cushioning of gas operated, etc.
Yeah, because my wife really likes to shoot trap. Both of us, we used to really spend a lot of time doing it. But really, she's only comfortable with a 20 gauge gas operated automatic. If it's a pump or if it's an over-under 20 gauge, the recoil at that point is a little bit more than what she likes.
And I couldn't find the brand when I was leaving. It's at my house, and I just couldn't locate it. But Limb Saver makes the shoulder recoil pad. This is the, I don't know whether they call them PAST or not, but Limb Saver makes one like that too. And it really helps. You put it on, and it straps on. These aren't bad, but the Limb Savers are far superior. You have that, and you have a Limb Saver pad on your shotgun, and it's not bad. And if you're going to shoot, 100 times, you better have that. There's nothing manly about coming home and saying, "Look at my bruises." It just isn't. But this is a common, for an AR-15 type rifle with a telescopic sight, that will just pop over the end of it, like the one I just showed you, and it fits pretty natural. Now, if you want to get crazy, if you've got a nice wooden rifle, you can grind it down to fit. But having done that once, I haven't done it again. Let's put it that way. But muzzle brakes, which they're muzzle brakes, they're compensators, and they're flash hiders. A muzzle brake is designed to disperse the gas. That, depending on which one you buy, and I'll get this article up because I didn't find it until late, on our website also. The Truth About Guns did an incredibly exhaustive testing of hundreds of muzzle brakes. And they will show you, and not a lot of times it's not the cheapest one, not the most expensive one that's the best. We got to step into a break, and we'll be back and talk about more of anything you want to, and muzzle brakes.
All right, welcome back to Armed Alabama. We still got a half an hour of show left, so if you have a comment or question or anything else like that, give us a call here at the studio, 251-343-0106, or you can text to that same number. And Judge, if you want, we've got a couple of good texts here.
Well, let me mention, you need a Craftsman tool, because they got a big Craftsman tool sale at our Ace Hardware stores in Spring Hill, Moffett Road, in Creola. You know, one time Craftsman was the tool that Sears sold. But now it's not confined to Sears. They're good tools, and you can get, anything from a jigsaw that I had that's still going after 30-something years, to a circular saw, to reciprocating saw, to try the challenge, try to cut through some of that wire rope and see if that reciprocating saw will do it. I think you used one to test, I think a key was lost, see if it would cut through a boat lock.
Yeah, it did.
Their Craftsman tools are on sale, and you go up there and get them, and they know something about them. So visit the Ace Hardware stores, Spring Hill Avenue Shopping Center, and that's on Spring Hill Shopping Center. It's on Old Shell Road, right before you get to McGregor, just east of McGregor, and then on Moffett Road, and then the Ace Creola Ace Hardware and Lumber. And if you need your lumber for a hurricane, go ahead and get it now from Creola Ace. Don't wait till the storm is coming the Gulf and everybody's lined up for the hurricane. You know there's going to be one eventually. And I guess, Adam, people take it back, when it doesn't hit? Don't do that. If you don't have it touching the dirt, store it. And then you won't have to go through all that stress next time when a hurricane, because every few years a hurricane comes, and just that would be stressful. What have you got text wise?
Yeah, we got a good question here. Matter of fact, let's go to the phone lines first, because we've got a few callers that's been waiting. So let's go to Fred's calling from the Sims. Hey, Fred.
Judge, Adam, good evening. Love the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. I couldn't help but give you a call. The hardest kicking rifle I got shoots a pistol cartridge, believe it or not. I love the 454 Casull.
Oh, yeah, I got the numbers on it. It's a hard kicking one.
And you see, I got it in Raging Bull, the 7 3/8-inch barrel with a ported compensators at the end.
Yeah.
Now, I can shoot that thing all day, and it won't hurt my wrist. I mean, I love shoot it until I'm satisfied or my pockets broke.
Well, see, you know how to do it. And what I meant to say, too, is half of it is technique, and you got the technique down.
Yes, sir. I'm comfortable with that. But I've got the Taurus stainless carbine. It's shooting the same cartridge.
Uh-huh.
It's lever action.
Oh, yeah.
It's got, and it's got the little shoulder recoil pad. But, Judge, you shoot that thing more than 4 times, you're miserable.
Wow.
The 5th one you know is going to hurt. That is an extremely hard kicking cartridge in a rifle. I've never seen such a thing. And I've shot a lot of different rifles, and that thing is just terrific. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that shoulder pad that you were talking about, and I try.
Yeah, get the limb saver recoil, the limb saver shoulder, deal, because it's really so much better than the other one. It's kind of hard to find, and I wish I could tell you where I got that, but you can find it somewhere. It really helps you.
I will get that. I need to, because my Marine buddy and I that goes out onto the farm to shoot feral hogs and stuff, after 4 shots, we're both miserable. We just don't want to shoot it no more.
Yeah, and you get a little, you start. Everybody's starting to get a little arthritis and all, and you start banging your shoulder like that. But I tell you, that 454 Casull, I mean that's one of the favorite sniper rifle rounds, isn't it?
No, that's a really large pistol round. Really large.
Yeah. Okay, I got it right here.
I was shooting a 340 grain Hornady critical defense. That's what I was shooting.
Oh yeah,
and that's a pretty hot load. But doggone it, it's awesome. But I got to do something with that recoil on that rifle.
I saw that that same pistol probably you're talking about on one of these real high-speed cameras, and you could see the shock wave go through the guy's arm. It was just a ripple. It'd probably scare you if you saw that.
It's the must-have thing to take down a T-Rex. That's for sure.
Yeah. So if you see one, get him for us.
Well, I love that cartridge, and I reload it. I mean, I just enjoy the heck out of it. And see, if I don't feel like abusing myself, I can shoot the 45 Colt out of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, so you get the Cowboy 45 Colts, and my wife's not scared to shoot it.
That's like a kitty cat compared to that.
Thank you for calling, Fred. We appreciate it. Got to move on to the next caller here. Ooh. Caller from Norm is calling from Mobile. Hey, Norm.
Hey, good evening, and enjoy your show every week. I listen to it every week.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hey, earlier you were talking about pistol permits and about going into a gun shop, and the gun shop actually utilizing your pistol permit to go ahead and
they can, if they chose
issue you a weapon.
Right.
Just want to let you know, I'm 64, veteran of 3 wars with the U.S. Army, and I have bought quite a few weapons, pistols and shotguns and rifles from the Coast Guard base.
Yeah.
They have really, really good deals, and they also have good ammo, but they don't care anything about pistol permits or anything. Everything they do there is go straight to D.C., I guess.
It's probably because they've gotten an edict that they're governed by federal law and not the law of the state. And that's just kind of my thought off the bat.
Yeah, I've never actually bought anything from pawn shops or gun dealers, nothing like that except at the Coast Guard base. And like I say, they got some real good deals, and those guys know what they're doing out there.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know.
Yep.
And that's the least they can do for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's all I had.
Great.
Enjoy your show. And
hey, Norm.
Yes.
Thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate everything y'all do for this great nation.
And call us back again, please.
Will do.
Take care.
Thank you, Norm. Appreciate it. And that was a good comment from Norm. Appreciate him calling in. So if you have a father in your life, this is the weekend, Father's Day weekend. Definitely the time to get down to McCoy Outdoors. They've got lots of things for the father in your life.
If you can't find something for your father
you're in bad shape.
You must not like him. So,
because that place is wall to wall.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have to be a gun person. I mean, you can find
there's lots of gear for hunting,
barbecue
for fishing.
Grill. I mean,
hunting, fishing, grilling, hiking, running. They have some of the Tier 1 running shoes right there at McCoy Outdoors, and I was shocked. One of the things that the runners I know come to me and say, hey, it was amazing that McCoy Outdoors is sponsoring your show, because that's where we get all our running shoes. So, I mean, every serious runner I know gets their shoes from McCoy Outdoors.
Right. Well, and one of the reasons, other than they have top-notch shoes, is they have a real shoe fitter there.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't have to go to, some of the self-serve shoe stores and, hey, does this fit? You have an expert that tells you, hey, that's a little loose, because you need to get it just right. And most of us don't have shoes that fit just right.
And then he also fits based on your footprint.
Right.
Itself, your arch, your ball, and how the pad of your foot, and how to be able to look at that and assess what's going to be the best shoe for you. So if you're looking for a good Father's Day gift, McCoy Outdoors is definitely a place to go and get it, regardless of what
anything
the father in your life wants.
$10 to $10,000. I mean,
absolutely.
No matter how much you love him, or of course,
so if my
spending more means you love him more.
That's right. So if my wife is listening, there's a few little things that's on my list down there at McCoy's Outdoor. So
and a $10,000 limit is okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as I don't see it on the credit card later.
Oh yeah,
that's happened before.
That kind of takes the fun out of it.
Yeah. What is this big charge?
Well, sweetheart, that was your Father's Day gift.
Yeah.
From McCoy's.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
So you can be sure and check out McCoy Outdoors, and they're in Spring Hill Shopping Center. They're just east of I-65 on Spring Hill, and they're in the old Kmart shopping.
K&B.
K&B.
Yeah.
Why did I say Kmart?
Yeah.
Yeah, blue light special.
Yeah,
dim down.
long day today.
They had some good, the best ice cream, and what else was there? Pantry Pride, Woolco.
That was before my time.
And remember when they tied the yellow ribbons, when Emery Farmer was trying to cut the big old oaks down, somebody tied yellow ribbons around it because that's when the Tony Orlando and Dawn song
Yeah,
was,
they wrote a song
big.
about it.
Yeah, and they wrote the song about it based here in Mobile. So that was pretty good.
So, Judge, we have a text here. A question I guess would be good for you to answer here is when can you use force via or versus a dangerous dog in Mobile County?
The standard's a lot lower because dogs are personal property. They're, people, I know, you love your dog like your kid and all that, but they're not humans. And if you feel like, let's put it this way, you could kill him because he's on your property, but you're going to get, if you get written up in the paper, you're going to have people outside your house picketing. If you feel threatened at all, you can use force, and he doesn't necessarily have to be on your property. If he's at your property line growling and snarling, in your mind he's going to charge you, you can use force, including deadly force.
What about pepper spray? Will that work on a dog?
Oh, yeah. Don't use bear spray. Use pepper spray.
Yeah, because pepper spray is a lot more concentrated.
Yeah.
All right, Paul, hang on the line here. We're going to get to you when we come back after this break with more Armed Alabama.
Now, what I said I was going to talk about something when we came back, and you distracted me.
It's hard to focus when Clint's talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies, The Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Yep.
Well, let me give you a factoid here. We were talking about recoil. A 9mm in a 2-pound gun, which is kind of like my Beretta M9 or Beretta 92, with 115 grain bullet, will generate 11.1 foot-pounds of energy. And we were talking earlier about let's give him the 454 Casull. Did you remember what grain he said?
I thought he said 320, but that right there says 300.
Well, and he,
it could be. There's different loads and different.
Let's just go with the 300. It generates 28 foot-pounds of pressure. Three, almost 4 times, three times as much. And that's why that carbine back there, it would generate less than the pistol because it weighs more than the pistol would.
Right.
Instead of being, what did we say it was, the 11.1, it may be, 8.8. And think about 8.8 compared to 45 for a 12-gauge shotgun. I mean, that's tremendous when you've got the adrenaline flowing through you. You're in your house at night. You don't know who's there. And you fire that. Take Joe Biden's advice and fire the shotgun. So, but watch that video. It's very
ridiculous.
Instructive. And remember to vote for us for Best All-Around Talk Show and for Best Sports Talk Show. That's a tremendous honor, and it's a little complicated doing it. You have to have your email address and all, but if you'd bear with it, and you can vote once an hour if you want. That's kind of a workout doing it, but there's some of you that like us so much you'll want to do that.
And that is votenappies.com. You can go there and vote for your favorite radio show, Armed Alabama, on the sports. It's the best sports show and the best talk show. So real quick, we got you can go there and vote for us. We appreciate that. Like the judge said, it's a huge honor, and it's really neat to be able to be listed on that.
And we're about the 7th or 8th page. It's the page that says media. So, don't get hung up on the best tattoo parlor and all that stuff. Just get through all of that. It's easy to get sidetracked on that interesting stuff. Let's see if we can take Paul. And, Paul, hold on. We got to fill in a board op here. And there. I think Paul might have gotten cut off. If you did, Paul, call us right back.
Did you get him? Hey, Paul.
Paul, I think an imbecile working the board cut you off.
That's me.
You don't have to admit that.
Work the phone boards.
Sorry about that, Paul. If you can call us back, we can get you on. And it may be the Paul I need to talk to because I'm not sure how much I owe him some money, but I'm not positive.
Oh, he dropped off.
Paul, if you need your money, it's coming. I promise you. I'll call you tomorrow because I'm not quite sure about something. All right. But recoil is something a beginning person never put an oversized gun in their hand in order to get a kick out of watching them respond to recoil. So many people have been turned off by firearms because of that. Somebody ought to be starting with a 22. Don't put a 45 in their hand and laugh when they get knocked down.
Yeah, because you're definitely not turning somebody on to shooting sports.
Right. You don't want to do that.
Hey, Paul.
Hey.
Hey, we finally got you now.
All right, I wasn't dunning you for the money.
Well, I need to be reminded because Adam just told me last week, and then I wasn't. But anyway, I'll call you tomorrow and make sure I got the amount right.
What you got for us, Paul?
I had a question about the last caller, I guess, about buying guns on the Coast Guard base.
Sure, go ahead.
I
don't know the answer
about that.
He said that you can buy beer and you can buy groceries. That I assume that if you've got the right credentials, I don't know whether that means retired or what, that you can buy them at the Coast Guard base. I assume he's talking about at Brooklyn.
You'd have to have base privileges, I'm sure, either active or retired military.
Exactly, active or retired. You go to PX.
I don't think any retired military, period, veteran or not, I don't believe you can carry a gun on base. I can't believe they'll let you buy one and walk off with it.
Well, it may be like, what's the store, Academy. They may have to
walk you out,
seal it in a box, and go out and put it in your trunk and walk you to the gate.
Well, I was just curious. I'd never, ever heard of that.
I hadn't either.
Yeah, I actually have, and there's several people I know that bought firearms there.
But you brought up an interesting inconsistency when they won't let a member of the marksmanship team have his gun on base.
Yeah.
The fact of being a veteran does not get you status on that base. Only retired military, as far as purchasing items.
Right. And I assume that's what...
I've just never heard of firearms. I mean, I've never in my life heard of anybody saying, hey, I went over here to Maxwell Air Force Base and bought a Colt 45.
Yeah, I didn't know they sold guns.
That's something Trump could do away with tomorrow, too.
Yep.
It's an executive order, and he could do away with it tomorrow. There are a bunch of those that he needs to do away with tomorrow. These stupid executive orders that Obama put in or, whomever, that, like, we still have one you can't assassinate a foreign leader. Well, there's some that need to be assassinated. And, it's not a law against that, except in the country you're dealing with. But we're just going by something that's one Jimmy Carter thought of. And I'd hate to be still going by his crazy morality.
Makes me think of that movie, Major Payne. Yeah. He says, I know somebody needs some killing.
Well, that's right. You think, wouldn't it have been better to kill Hitler than to, spend all those lives trying to kill him, trying to defeat the country? So,
that's right.
Anyway, something to think about. Paul, that's a good idea. I'm going to try to figure out what's going on there because that's interesting.
Well, I just wanted y'all to research it and let me know.
We will. I actually, I know you can, but I don't know exactly the rules surrounding that in detail. So definitely something we can check on.
And Paul, is typical kind of government competition against the private industry because
if you're listening here,
I'm not necessarily worried about any competition.
I'm not saying you
never heard it. So
I'm just
that guy
curious.
Sparked the interest with me.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the first person I've ever heard say that.
Hey, can I ask Paul a question?
Yeah,
sure. This is, if you didn't know, this is Paul from Three Brothers Arms, where we go and shoot, and we
great
host some of our
place,
classes.
great guy. And
well,
he's
I have a
unstable.
silly question, a request, Paul. Would you say what we have here is a failure to communicate?
Oh no.
What we have here is a failure to communicate.
Maybe it's a failure of my knowledge. Maybe I don't know.
You sure
So
you're not a movie star?
Somebody of higher standing than me.
He's screwing with you. That
No,
that's Charlie.
I'm just an average old guy.
You sounded just like the movie star.
Learning.
You do kind of.
Yeah, and Charlie's just an average old guy, so
he's kind of like
Really
Senator
average.
McCain.
Hey, my kids remind me every day that I am the dumbest person on the planet. So
mine reminded me that I was just as good as an ATM.
Tell them they're wrong.
Hey, I just tell them the only reason they believe that is because they don't need me yet.
That's right. It's funny. You'll get a lot wiser as they get older.
Well,
just wait.
I think I'm getting dumber.
All right, thank you, Paul. I appreciate you calling in. So definitely that'd be a good place to go for Father's Day is to take the father down to Three Brothers Arms and shoot.
Would be a Father's Day outing.
It would be.
Yep. Tell Paul we said hey when you go.
Forever.
Or I wonder, can they go out there and buy a certificate where he could go out there when he needed to or wanted to?
Bet you they'd fix one up.
I'll bet.
I sure would. Next week, we got some conflicts. We'll have a fill-in for Chase, my son. And we'll see you next week on Armed Alabama, the state's only firearms-based radio talk show.